And it's not necessarily to take the time off, right? It's not necessarily about the vacation so much as it is about prepping your business to run smoothly without you. So that's really what the exercise is about. It's about, let's get our business ready. If you can take 4 weeks off of your business is now running like clockwork. Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it. Hey, our sponsor for the show today is Pine Financial Group, the leader in hard money lending in Colorado and Minnesota. And they were recently approved to offer their investment publicly. This investment offer is only for investors in Colorado and Minnesota and is only made through their investment prospectus. Get your copy today. Simply visit www.pineinvestments.com and click to get started. Look, there's a reason why some of the wealthiest people in history invest in loans backed by real estate. Learn more about the risks and returns at www.pineinvestments.com.
Welcome back to another edition of Hump Day Hustle, the show where we focus on business and real estate as our core pillars of wealth creation. My name is John Stiles with Bridge Realty, and I'm excited for another great episode. Today, we're going to be talking about a book we've just finished called Clockwork, Design Your Business to Run Itself by Mike Michalowicz. And this is going to be a really interesting discussion. But before we get into that, here is our host, Todd Dexheimer. Todd, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, John. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. To be honest, I've got a little bit of cold, so I hope I'm not going to do too much sniffling and coughing during the show here.
Just don't sneeze all over your microphone.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but aside from that, doing great.
John, you got to get a little bit bigger Bridge Realty sign behind you so it pronounces it. And then I probably should do the same thing though, because I got this, lame fireplace behind me. It has nothing to do with my business, but that's just how it is. So John, before we get started with that book review, I wanted to talk about a couple things. We've got a conference coming up, we got a conference coming up in 2 days, man. Are you ready for it?
Yeah. No,
I'm not. I feel like, holy cow, there's so many things to think about, but you know what? It will start and we will get through it, hopefully with a lot of success, and hopefully everybody gets a ton of value out of it. I know people are going to get a ton of value out of it. I'm excited to have a lot of fantastic people there. And, if you are listening to this and it's Wednesday or even Thursday, maybe even Friday morning, there is potentially time to sign up. So check out the website, try to see if you can get some tickets last minute, and you may be able to score some last minute tickets. We'd love to see you at the event. And look, the prices are actually pretty cheap. All profits, by the way, are going to charity. So John, you're not taking any money and putting it in your pocket. I'm not taking any money and putting it in my pocket. We are putting the money into the charities' pockets. And so that's a great thing. But even if you can only come for 1 day or a half a day or something like that, and there are tickets available, I think it's well worth your time and the price of admission to go check it out, learn from these speakers, and do some networking. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. And quite frankly, what's your excuse for not going? If you're looking to expand your business and grow, you've got to take advantage of opportunities like this to go in, increase your business. And at the end of the day, we're going to sit here and we're going to decide, were we successful, not? Did we do what we wanted to do in life? And what held us back? And if you have a ton of excuses, well, really, are you going to be satisfied with what you did? But if you went all out, if you played the game, at the top level, you've got nothing to complain about in the end of the day. So that's what I think people who attend events like this are people that are playing at a high level, people that are going all out, and they are the ones that are going to step above and climb above everybody else.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this conference, and I think it's going to be, really bringing together top-notch people The presenters, I'm really impressed with the list of people who are going to be speaking. And I'm really excited for the networking and just kind of deepening relationships and those connections so that we can all go further together.
Yep. Plus, man, we got a free breakfast on Saturday morning, and we got a couple free drinks on Friday evening. You can't go wrong with that either. So that you can't beat that. So just show up. You'll enjoy it. You'll learn a lot, and hey, we're going to even feed you and provide a little bit of entertainment and potentially some free drinks. Not potentially, for sure, some free drinks. So. John, anything else going on that you want to hit on real quick?
No, I think this is the main thing. Just be at that conference, and I think it'll be really exciting the report that we'll bring back if for how it went. So
Yeah, definitely cool. Well, one thing I wanted to hit on real quick is I was interviewed the other day on a podcast, and one of the questions was, how do you ask for money when I'm raising funds? How do you ask for money? And that's a good question that he asked because a lot of people, especially people that are beginning, but a lot of people think that way. And when I heard that question, I thought, well, wait a second, we don't ask. That's the most important thing. So for me, you've got to change the mindset. You got to change your paradigm, and you've got to realize, look, you're not asking for anything. If you're asking, it's about you, right? It's about what you can receive. It's about how you're being benefited. What do you have to do? Well, you have to understand you're providing an opportunity. And so this doesn't go with just raising money, by the way. It goes with everything. What opportunity are you providing? What solution are you, or what problem are you solving? And so these investors that you're providing an opportunity for, they've got a problem. Their problem is they've got money parked somewhere that isn't making the type of returns that they want, or maybe is in a higher risk situation than what they would like, or it's just not as diversified as they would like. So they've got a problem, and you can have the solution to that problem. You're providing them good, solid returns with safe real estate. And that is providing an answer to what their problem is. So that's the mind shift that you need to go. I don't ask for money. I provide a solution to the issue that you have. I provide you an opportunity to come in to a good investment. And you know what? It might not work for you, but I'm not going to ask you for money.
Yeah, that's a totally different approach, and it's going to make a difference how it's received. If somebody's perceives you as asking and begging for money, then they're going to question the deal or what it is that you have to offer them. But if you're showing them the opportunity, that just really helps to communicate what's going on there.
Yep. And, last week we talked about positioning. How are we positioning ourselves? We talked quite a bit about that last week when we're talking about working with brokers and how are we positioning ourselves with these brokers. And it's the same way with investors is how are you positioning yourself? How are you leading and making it to where they perceive you and see you as if they perceive and see you as someone who's asking and maybe a little bit desperate. And if you're asking, then you're going to appear to be more desperate. But if you're providing an opportunity, and you have that in your mindset, well, first of all, I think it helps with your presentation, helps with the story you're telling, because that's how you're getting the message across versus asking for that money.
Yep. Good
So
stuff.
cool. Well, let's get started with our book review.
Yeah, well, I'll just give kind of a outline of what the book covered and the problem that it's attacking. And that is, I think, a lot of us who are entrepreneurial or starting up our own company, running our own business, we really get stuck in all the doing of the business. And while there's that dream out there of this business taking off and providing passive income and financial security, what it turns into for a lot of people is kind of, a trap. And just because there's so many things to do in our business and we think we're the only one that can do it the way that needs to be done.
Yep.
So that's kind of the issue that the book tries to address. And I thought there's a lot of great things throughout the book. So one of the things that it talks about is identifying what a QBR is for your company. So that QBR is short for the Queen Bee role. And so that gets back to, do you know what the Queen Bee role is, Todd?
Why don't you explain it to us?
So the Queen Bee role, if you think about a beehive, each of those bees have a unique role in the hive and in the colony. There's worker bees, there's honeybees, there's bees that take care of the little ones, but there's the queen bee role, which has one of the most significant roles in that hive. The queen bee's role is to create more eggs that are going to populate that colony. If the queen bee is gone, then that colony is going to die. And it's the same way with the companies that we run. There is typically one queen bee role or one main objective that cannot be compromised, or else the company will die. And so just identifying what that is for our company and what that is for our individual role in the company.
Yep. And not trying to identify 2 or 3 or 4 different queen bee roles, identifying one queen bee role, one QBR, and what that is to make it work. To just go back to the kind of the main point of the book, I think that's all too true for most of us, that we are so involved and so involved in our business, and we don't ever step back and realize that other people can do our role for us, or some of our role for us, and take that off our plates. And I struggle with that on a daily basis, on what to give away, what not to give away. And part of the struggle for me is I'm busy. So I'm already busy. So how could I spend time training somebody else in when I'm so busy right now myself? And what do I give them? I'm not sure what should I give them. What should they do? So those are some of the things that we go, oh, how can I really give this away? I don't know if they could do it. We struggle with that. I think a lot of it, again, is that same thing. And I just talked about earlier, it's a paradigm shift. It's a mindset shift. You have to get beyond it and be able to give those things away. But I struggle with it daily on my business, and how do I expand and grow? And then of course we always worry about, we want to pay the bills. So we want to be able to pay other people. And do we have enough income coming in? And a lot of times that's a question mark as well, as well, how much income do I have coming in? Can I really afford to hire this person?
Yeah, for sure. And then he goes further into that issue, and some of the objections that we come up with is when we do hire somebody, we get excited about it. Yay, this person's going to take all this responsibility from me and make my life so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
What it often turns into is you switching into a deciding role. So they are in charge of different tasks, but each time they have a question or a problem or a concern, they always have to come back to you to make a decision about what should be done.
Mm. Yep.
And so he really emphasizes in the book to get away from that, and don't fall into that trap. So the way he talks about doing it is actually learning how to truly delegate results. So when you assign a task to somebody, at first there's going to be a transition period where they're learning how to do it.
Yep.
And there'll be some time period where you have to decide for them what things need to be done. But eventually you need to give the responsibility of the result to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that when they come up with different questions, they can decide, well, if I'm going to achieve this result, this is what I need to decide to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything to add to that. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. I mean, I have gone through the process of hiring somebody and then spending a lot of money and then feeling like I'm not actually saving time. I feel like I'm working more, even
Yeah.
though I have hired somebody else to take things off my plate. And now to boot, I have less money to work with because I've got to pay this person.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And part of it comes down to, again, a control issue and allowing them to really make the decisions, really giving them kind of that feeling of you can expand upon your job roles, you can increase this, you can better this. Like, this is just a starting point. It's up to you to make the magic happen. It's up to you to, make this even better, versus a lot of times we like to step in and make the decisions for them, tell them what to do, tell them, oh no, what, you shouldn't do it this way, you do it this way, instead of allowing them to make the mistakes, giving them some feedback, but allowing them to continue to grow and make mistakes and giving them that responsibility.
Yeah, he talked about giving them feedback after they've made a decision.
Yeah.
So allowing them to take ownership of the decision
Mm-hmm.
and whatever results come of it. And
Yeah.
then if there's a need, give them feedback, but only after they've taken the step. Because if you are always the one that's going to make the decision, they're gonna never let go of that. They're just always going to come back to you.
Yeah. Well, and obviously, if it's a company altering decision that's going to be very negative for your company, you might have to step in. But a lot of the decisions might be a little mistake. You might go, oh, geez, that's going to set me back a little bit, or it's going to cost me a little bit potentially. But the fact of the matter is, it's probably actually going to save you in the end, because now you have a better employee for it, and you have things that you're going to learn from it. We always talk about learning from your failures and mistakes. And well, if you won't let other people have failures and mistakes, how are they going to learn?
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing how many decisions really don't matter. I mean, we
Yeah,
might have our preference the way it should be done, but that doesn't mean it can't be done another way.
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So,
Hey, let's take a minute to thank our sponsor, Pine Financial Group. Look, you work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Because of inflation, money sitting idle erodes your wealth. Many investors understand that real estate is a great investment, but may not want the effort or the risk that comes with owning their own property. They want to sit back and have payments hit their bank account each and every month. Stop eroding your wealth and start building it by asking your money to work for you. You should be earning profits while you sleep, an investment backed by real estate. Pine Financial Group, the leader in hard money lending in Colorado and Minnesota, was recently approved to offer their investment publicly. This investment offer is only for investors in Colorado and Minnesota and is only made through the investment prospectus. Get your copy today. Simply visit www.pineinvestments.com and click to get started. There's a reason why some of the wealthiest people in history invest in loans backed by real estate. Learn more about the risks and returns at www.pineinvestments.com. It's www.pineinvestments.com. I want to invite you to join us at the Northstar Real Estate Conference. This conference is September 20 and 21st in Minneapolis, and it's going to be packed full of a ton of great speakers. We've got just a great group of people speaking. And you can look at our lineup on our website, nreconference.com, and sign up there as well. We've got an early bird special. All you need to do is type in early bird, one word, and you can get $100 off. And that's good through August 10th. So make sure you sign up now. Take action. Look, people that take action and value their education are those who are going to succeed. I know there's a lot of free content. My podcast is free. There's all kinds of free content out there, maybe even free meetups that you're attending. But this conference is going to blow your socks off. This is going to be well worth the price, and all the profits go to charity. So it's definitely time to take action. Sign up now. Don't delay, because the prices will go up. But you know what? Every time I attend a conference, I 10x. Actually, I would say I more like 1,000x even my investment, 100, 1,000, potentially even more x my investment. I've met so many fantastic people. I've met investors at conferences. I've met potential partners at conference. I've joined mastermind groups because of conferences. So it's a ton of value. You cannot replace it. So check it out, nreconference.com. Thanks a lot.
One of the tips that he gave is how to communicate your systems in your business to those employees. And so we often have talked about systematizing your business, and then, but it's a lot easier to think about than actually do it. I mean, it's time consuming and cumbersome to write processes down, and then who actually reads those books, those processes. So I really liked what he explained is when you do anything in your business, actually either screen capture or videotape it so that it's recorded in a way that people can watch. And then whoever is taking over responsibility for that process, once they come up with an improved way or maybe a slightly different way, because technology changes and processes do change, they are then responsible for making the next training video with the new changes for themselves and whoever's going to come after them.
Yep. Yeah, I really like that. I implemented that recently. I've got some people that are doing some underwriting for me, and I did a video. I just did a video of me doing underwriting, plugging in the numbers, taking an OM and transferring that into my underwriting spreadsheet, and how, the numbers then manipulate and decide if this is a deal or not a deal. And that allowed me to record that, give it to these young guys that are doing some underwriting for me, but I know they're not a long-term underwriting, or underwriters. They're not going to be there for 5 years. They're not going to be there for 10 years. They're going to be there for, a year or 6 months or maybe a year and a half, but it's not a long-term solution. So what I wanted to do is create a video, and then of course probably improve upon that video, and potentially, like you said, have somebody else improve upon that video as well. But that allows you to, um, continue to hire other people and have something there for them.
Yeah, that's such a huge time saver.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain the system each and every time. You don't have to re-explain it when they have questions that they forgot or didn't retain how it was
Yeah.
supposed to happen. Um,
Yeah, videos. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, if you get a video, and we can make a book, we can write instructions, and that's good. Writing instructions are good, but a video, really, you remember so much more, and you see the actions, right? And seeing the actions are extremely important. When you just have it on a written word, it just takes so much longer, in my opinion. But if you've got it in both a written word and in a video, and you can look at it and go, wow, okay, that's what I do. And then you go back to the written word and go, okay, yep, I remember that step. I remember that step. Oh, yep, that's where we go. Boom, boom, boom. And you're done. It just goes so much quicker. And then when you have any questions, you can go back to either the written word or the video, and it's right there.
yeah, for sure. So another thing that the author talked about is what he calls the 4D mix. So these are the 4Ds of what your company does: is the doing, the
Mhm.
deciding, the delegating, and the designing of your business.
Yep.
And I probably don't have the exact percentages, but I think he said 50% of your, well, he said take a look at your own business and decide how much analysis of your own business. How much are you doing in each of these categories? How much are you doing? How much are you deciding, delegating, and designing? And I believe he wants you to, I don't have the exact percentages written down in front of me, but designing, I think it was like 2% of the overall company. Or if you're in the CEO, that might be 50%, and the other doing and delegating and designing is spread out. So there's a 4D mix for you yourself as the CEO, and there's a 4D mix for the company as a whole. Um, so it's important to have those balanced out appropriately. I think
Yep.
we often become heavy in one area or the other.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we're heavy in the doing.
Usually the doing.
Yep.
Exactly. And we usually leave the designing out. We usually forget about the designing, or maybe it's New Year's and we decide to do our designing, um, you know, exercise, and then we forget about it until the next New Year's, and we go, "Oh, this year is going to be better. I'm going to follow this," and I design, and then I forget about it,
Yep.
and the cycle repeats. So that's oftentimes what happens, and the rest of the time we're just busy doing. We're not delegating. We're not designing. We're not. What's the other D?
Uh, Designing, deciding.
Deciding.
Yep.
So, yeah, cool, cool. Anything else on the book, John?
He talked a lot about, uh, again, getting yourself out of the business.
Hmm.
So he emphasized, schedule a 4-week vacation way out in the future
Yeah,
that you can actually book the flight, book the hotel,
yeah.
tell everybody that you're going on this vacation. And then he gives really a detailed step by step on how you're going to actually make that a reality. um, Lots of details about how you're going to take, maybe a 1 week time away and just set everything up, all these processes and systems, team members in place so that your business can actually operate without you.
So when I read that, I was like, or heard that because I listened to it. When I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And so I took this trip to Europe. We had it planned, and I was like, I'm gonna do it right around the trip to Europe. I'm gonna take the 2 weeks off for Europe, and I'm gonna take another 2 weeks off, either before I leave, maybe a week before I leave, and a week after when I get back. But then I got this conference. I'm like, there's no possible way I can do that. So I'm going to have to schedule a different time where I'm not hosting or helping host a conference, because it was like there's no possible way. So we'll have to figure out a different time to do it. But I thought that was a great opportunity, and it's not necessarily to take the time off, right? It's not necessarily about the vacation so much as it is about prepping your business to run smoothly without you. So that's really what the exercise is about. It's about, let's get our business ready. If you can take 4 weeks off of your business is now running like clockwork, especially if you can take 5, 6, 7 weeks off. But if you can't, if you can only take a couple days off, well, then obviously your business isn't running. So by preparing, by thinking about it, by being very intentional about it, well, you're going to do the things you need to do in order for your business to run like clockwork without you, if you commit to actually taking that vacation for 4 weeks without your phone and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And as I think about that, it seems pretty impossible for me. But, it's, I think like you said, the point that he's trying to make is if you can do this, your business will succeed so much better than otherwise. I mean, very often we ourselves get in the way of the progress of our business. When we approach our business with the mindset that only we can do these things, then we limit the business. We only have so much time and energy in any given day. There's no way that we can do everything that our business really should be doing.
Yep.
But if we set up the processes and put together the team that can operate without us, and each of these team members are operating with their specialties and um, the places that they're good at, the business can go so much further than it could otherwise.
Yep. Yeah. We can always replace ourselves. If we set it up the right way, we can replace ourselves. And I think I was gone for the 3 weeks of this episode, and I think you guys did an excellent job. And so that was a fairly easy thing for me to replace. And I replaced myself in other areas too when I was gone for a couple weeks. Now it was only 2 weeks, but it still was nice to see, okay, I was able to go for 2 weeks. I was pretty much hands off, and nothing burnt down. The business continued to run without me. And so that's one step, but the next step would be, okay, let's make sure we can continue to do that and expand upon it.
Yep. Yeah, I wanted to kind of ask you. So I thought it was interesting while we were reading this book, you were going on this trip. And so did that really influence you going on this trip, or
It
how
it
did
didn't
it?
influence me going on the trip because we already planned the trip, but it influenced how I acted on the trip for sure. I was very out of the business. I did a little bit of work, and it was mostly, um, I mean, very little. It wasn't. It really wasn't like heavy, deep work or anything like that. Few emails, little bit of social media, but that was it. Like I honestly spent probably less than 5 hours on my business for the entire 2 weeks.
Yep. And I'm sure, that just helped your relationships with your family, your friends that you're traveling with, and just the experience to just be so much deeper rather than if you're, technically on vacation, but actually have your nose in your laptop trying to solve all these problems that are going on.
Yep, yep, yeah. It definitely was nice and able to check out for a while.
Yep.
One of the nice things is in Europe, um, your cell phone, you get charged for every day that you use it off of Wi-Fi. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, which we were walking around all day, there was so many times we didn't have any Wi-Fi. If you don't have Wi-Fi, well then you either have to pay to use your phone or you just don't use your phone. So I turned my cellular data off, which didn't allow me to use my phone unless there was Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So yeah, it was actually they actually gave me a good reason to not check my cell phone during business, or while I was running around during the day.
Yeah.
So well, cool. I mean, overall, I really like the book. I think it provides a lot of food for thought, a lot of action steps, and obviously, it's like any book, you've got to be able to implement it. So it's a book I'm probably going to have to look at and read a few times and go through. But I think definitely it provides a lot of value for the listeners, and really something every business owner needs to hear and needs to be thinking about. And it's something you have to be thinking about more than just, it's an exercise that you have to do more than just once. Your business is always evolving and growing, and you need to continue to develop it and continue to change it. And so it's a book that you could probably read every couple of years.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely put this on the on the list of things to come back to. Lots of good information. I really like this queen bee role thing. It really, I mean, if you have that kind of question up in front of you every single day, is what I'm doing right now the most important thing I should be doing?
Mm-hmm.
You're just asking yourself that all the time, and if it's not, as he talks about, you need to delegate
Yep.
or just not do this thing at all. So I think it really helps you to consider what you're doing.
Absolutely. Good stuff, John. Well, let's wrap.
Yeah, for sure. So if anybody out there has also read this book, we'd love to get your feedback on it. Let us know what was your key takeaway. You
Yeah.
can go ahead and comment on the YouTube video. You can comment in our Facebook page, Pillars of Wealth Creation. And as always, we'd really like your feedback and review on iTunes.
Yep, definitely. And feedback and review on iTunes is really helpful for us. We'd like to continue to grow and expand this podcast. And so share it out with your friends. If you're getting value out of it, just share it out. We'd love to, like you said, continue to grow the audience and continue to have this affect a lot of people in a positive way. So if you do that, that'd be great. If you haven't done a rating review, if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love to have you as a subscriber. We'd love to have a rating review from you. So yeah, that's it for me, John. I appreciate it. And you have a fantastic rest of the day. Make every day Saturday.
You too.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Couple things before we go. Again, go on to our Facebook page, Pillars of Wealth. We'd love to have you on there. Go on to iTunes, give us a rating and review, and subscribe to the show. Also, don't forget, reach out to me if you want any help with potentially growing your business, and reach out to John Stiles to help you buy or sell real estate. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Have a fantastic the rest of the day. And as I say, make every day a Saturday.